breaking down all 24 things you missed from Survivor Season 48, Episode 12. We're talking all things letters from home, the snake challenge, Kyle making a huge move, Joe's emotional story, and much more. Careful for any spoilers if you haven't seen last week's episode yet, and make sure to stick around as we announce last week's puzzle giveaway winner. If you want to enter next week's giveaway, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below how you think next week's finale is gonna turn out. Let's get started with number 24, After Tribal. Bit of a different start to the episode as we skip over the previously on Survivor segment, but it's important to note Eva never used her advantage. Mitch says it's time to make a move, and Mary was voted out.
Mary, the tribe has spoken.
Number 23, Day 22. When you compare eras of Survivor, this is really rough. Kyle talks about how it's starting to get tough out there, but old school Survivor would still have 17 days left, which gets me excited for Survivor 50 and how the old school players will react to the new era.
For our 50th season, we're turning the game over to you. You've already voted on 10 elements from the game. You have one big decision left. Idols.
Number 22, Morning Chat. It feels like the same story starting to happen for the third episode in a row, with the majority alliance wanting to stay together. That's Joe, Eva, Kamilla, Kyle, and Shauhin wanting to stay together. But we all know what ends up happening at the end of the video, at the end of the episode, and I'm excited to talk about it. Number 21, Tree Mail. It's funny how Survivor superfans are able to remember and memorize the smallest little things, as Kamilla is able to call the exact challenge just based on the tree mail. And we finally get a little bit of spicy strategy in Survivor 48. With Shauhin, Mitch, Kyle, and Kamilla think it's finally time to take out Joe. And I'm just gonna play this really awkward confessional from Shauhin.
These things are incredible. They should be in a museum. Museum worthy. Didn't get to use them once? Come on, bro.
Number 20, Challenge Time. It's pouring rain as the boat comes in. However, Survivor at this point in the new era has gotten so meta, with the players talking about being on Survivor. The challenge is a great one, with the last player remaining on a ramp wins, but it's also the best, biggest reward of the entire season, as you get a huge meal, letters from home, and a night in bed at the sanctuary. Number 19, The Challenge. It's low-key interesting that this challenge was used for a reward challenge and not an individual immunity challenge, as it has the perfect recipe for an individual immunity challenge. Eventually, we get a classic good old Survivor Showdown 1v1 situation. It's between Kyle and Shauhin, with Shauhin winning with assist on his wrist. And I gotta mention, it makes me sad that there was no puzzle leading into number 18, The Great Equalizer. As we all know, the great equalizer in Survivor challenges are always the puzzles. If you dream of one day playing Survivor, you are gonna want to check out Idle Plays in my replica Survivor puzzles. The fan favorite puzzle this season has 100% been the Fitz Tower puzzle, seen in Survivor 32 and Survivor 40, where Michelle dominated, and in the new era, always kicking over the puzzle.
He's got it for the win. Here it is.
Let's go.
There you go, kid.
Austin wins immunity.
If you want to dominate Survivor challenges, it's the perfect timing with the finale coming soon. You should check out the Fitz Tower and use the code FITZ25 to get 25% off. I will be closing down the store with the Survivor 48 finale, so if you're interested in any of the puzzles and games, you should really act fast. Please consider going to idleplays.com and checking out the puzzles. And remember, the first 10 people to use the code FITZ25 get 25% off the Fitz Tower.
Michelle getting closer. Michelle has it. Michelle wins individual immunity. Guaranteed spot in the final three.
Number 17, Reward Decision. Ultimately, it makes the most sense. He's most excited about getting the letters from home, as Shauhin picks Joe and Kyle to join him on Reward.
Survivor was like a huge part of me and my mom reconnecting and made her watch a bunch of seasons. She fell in love with the show, and just having a little piece of her out here.
Number 16, Reward Time. It's boys' night at the sanctuary with Joe, Shauhin, and Kyle at the sanctuary. This kind of strategy I don't think we've ever seen before in Survivor, with Kyle and Shauhin playing a game of chicken. We have Shauhin and Kyle both thinking about when it's time to take out Joe, but first we need to get a little bit emotional with a cry.
There you go. Yours is empty.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
Number 15, letters from home. With COVID restrictions being done in the new era, I am begging to get a family visit for Survivor 50. The letters from home are great, but family visits are some of the best Survivor moments. At the end of the day, these letters were deep. Kyle connecting with his dad, Shauhin with his mom, and Joe talking about his sister.
Last night, before she passed, we fought on the phone. And I've been struggling with that since she's been gone now for a while. We fought.
Number 14, the losers. Yes, Mitch, be bitter, be pissed off. As Mitch and Kamilla are pissed that Joe was able to go on reward again, this is going to be really key and I'm building into the biggest moment of the episode later in the video. With Kamilla saying if Joe wins immunity, then Shauhin needs to be the one to go. Number 13, Eva is pissed. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't think it's a hot take that Eva cannot be the player that wins this season. Personally, I think she was an interesting character pre-merge, but in the later part of the game being dragged by Joe. Ultimately, I was just left scratching my head why Eva, why Mitch, why Kamilla, why they weren't idol hunting and instead just sleeping around. Number 12, the Onion Alliance. This all comes from an intense conversation between Joe and Shauhin on reward. If you're unaware, the Onion Alliance is a classic strategy to have a majority alliance, but to have a majority within the majority. That's exactly what Joe thinks of himself with Eva and Shauhin. But Shauhin is fumbling around his words around Joe and Kyle about making a move leading into,
but I do have to beat him to the punch, and it just so happens that he's my punchline. He has to be my target, and I have to figure out a way to paint the perfect target on his back.
Number 11, the players come together. This is where things get interesting at the final 6 with Joe, Shauhin, Kyle, Eva, Kamilla, and Mitch talking about the endgame. We've known since the beginning of the season that the sneaky duo of Kyle and Kamilla, they're going far, and they're gonna have a huge impact on the season. As they talk about one of them needing to get to the end, taking out Thomas earlier and Shauhin now. This is super interesting how the episode was edited together, as usually whatever plan is pitched before the immunity challenge isn't the plan that ends up happening. Number 10, Secret Alliance. This gets juicy, so it's notepad time. Kyle is gonna start a rumor that Shauhin showed Kamilla the idol with wanting to make a move, and Kyle will go to Joe with this information to take out Shauhin. This is so big brain and mind blowing how much it progresses Kyle and Camilla's game while destroying Joe's game.
And I'm gonna say that Shauhin wanted to make a move, and he showed me he had this idol.
A move like this, it's complicated.
Number 9, Joe's story. Don't get me wrong, Joe's story is real. It's emotional. It makes for great television. But I think the edit and story of Survivor 48 is about who can overcome the main character Joe to win the game. Number 8, challenge time. As the players toss a bag to get a rope and use it for balance across a barrel and get balls through a snake trap. I'll explain later, but I always love the snake challenge leading into number 7, the challenge. This was a great version of the barrel rolling challenge that was first seen in Survivor Worlds Apart. But what I love most is when a version of one of the Idol Plays puzzles appears on TV with Snake to the side. Link in bio to purchase this epic challenge as Joe wins.
And he's got it. It's over. Joe wins immunity, guaranteed a spot in the final 5.
Number 6, Challenge Beast. Just like how Joe is on a roll winning 4 individual immunity challenges, I need to say 74% of you watching this video aren't subscribed, so let's get on a roll and change that. If you aren't subscribed yet, please do that and help me pass Russell Hant in subscribers. Survivor 48 is almost done now, and all it takes is clicking that red subscribe button to show your support. Number 5, after the challenge. Well, here we go. Leading into the finale next week, Joe is in striking distance of tying the individual immunity challenge record. The problem is that's never been enough to win the game of Survivor. It wasn't enough for Colby in season 2, Brad Culpepper in season 34, or possibly Joe in season 48, leading into number 4, the plans. Pretty basic setup here. The easy vote is Mitch, but Kyle and Kamilla get funky and try to push the target on Shauhin. In in a genius way removing Joe's power. This is great Survivor, and when 90-minute episodes of Survivor is working at its best. Think Operation Italy with Andy or this move with Kyle and Kamilla.
When Joe pulls me aside, I'm like, all right, it's my turn to lie.
So Kyle shared with me.
Yeah.
It was going to be me or Eva.
Yeah.
And was that put in play by Shauhin?
Yes.
Number 3, Shauhin and Joe. This was so intense. Joe gets fully tricked by Kyle and Kamilla and confronts Shauhin. The best part is Shauhin has literally zero idea what's going on.
What are you trying to tell me, Joe?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm saying that right now in this game, it feels like there's some chaos, and I'm just trying to figure out
There's no
what
chaos,
it is.
man.
Number 2, Tribal Council. The Survivor producers and Jeff Probst have been steering the audience into Joe being the main character all season. And that's shown perfectly here at this Tribal Council. We get mumbling audio as we see Joe's face reacting to both Kyle and Shauhin talking. It might be a hot take, but I think the storyline of the finale will be about the downfall of Joe, leading into number 1, Shauhin voted out. Anyways, congratulations 3-Run Homer, you're this week's puzzle giveaway winner. I'll announce a new winner next week, and click right here for everything we know so far about Survivor 49.